So I'm Aaron Crowell, I'm the head equipment manager for the football team here. Kind of just manage all their equipment, all the gear. So these are our coaches' headsets, whether it's t-shirts, jerseys, helmets, shoulder pads, to cleats, to practice setup. Just about anything gear-wise that the staff needs, players need. Looks good, feel good? Yeah, okay, cool. The week leading up to the game,
I sound muffled?
it's a lot of,
How about now?
a lot of just moving parts and trying to knock stuff out as we can. So we've got practice each day, and so we're trying to accomplish our tasks behind that. So we're still recovering from games from the past Saturday. If we're on an away game, we unload the truck as soon as it gets back on Saturday. We'll drive it straight through the night, however we need to get through to get it back here. We'll unload. I'll start washing the jerseys and stuff immediately, so any stains that set in, anything like that from the game, we can get those out immediately. And then Sunday, more laundry, double checking the uniforms in case the wash didn't take out any stains, anything like that. And then on Monday, we are just trying to get stuff organized again, trying to make sure we're planning for what uniforms we're gonna wear for that week. I'll ask our captains pretty much each Monday what uniform combo they'd like to go with. For the most part, they get a pick. Per NCAA rules, we have to wear darker colors at home, lighter colors away. So we kind of know the jersey color already, but they get a pick really now what helmets they want, what pants they want. So we can at least start to prep the jerseys before we find out the full combo. For a season, we're dealing with 3. So we have our blue, our white, and then our black uniforms as well. You know, my biggest thing is trying to make sure that we're keeping them looking nice and fresh each week, because personally, me, I love these uniforms. I love the look of them, and I love the style and the design. And so I'm hoping that they last us quite a few years. So I always want to make sure that I'm being diligent in taking care of them, you know, sewing up any holes, anything like that, making sure we get stains out of them so they can last us quite a while. So this, I'm just taking off a layer of shaving cream. So we put the shaving cream on. It helps kind of bring out the orange dye in the football, so we can help get it darkened up a little bit. And then I'll hit it with a brush just a little bit here, one of the Wilson brushes. Just making sure we get all 4 panels. Trying to bring out that pebble grain as well. That's the texture of the football. Don't want it to be too pronounced, but want it to be able to get enough to where you can get your fingers on it and get a good grip on it. So this is muddying up the football. It's going to help soften up that leather, and this is what's going to make it that dark color that you see. That helps give a little bit more texture to it too, because out of the package, they're pretty slick. They have a layer of wax on them, and that's kind of this whole process, is give it a little bit of grip on it so quarterbacks can really throw it and wide receivers can have a good time catching it too. It's quite interesting to see you know, kind of everyone's different footballs and their different techniques, because like I said, everyone's got a little something different they do that they have perfected over the years. I think that one is good to go. So the uniforms are kind of there since I've been there. Something that I like is the helmet history. Helmets are always, you know, probably one of the more fun parts of the game and about equipment and everything. And so I think it's so much fun to keep a running history of what all's happened before, and, you know, as you continue to build upon it, what all you continue to do. And something that I think is just a lot of fun to try to piece together and work on and see how helmets have evolved and also how logos have evolved and have gone throughout the ages, and just seeing what is worn in the past and what'll, you know, how it'll continue in the future. We have a really good resource called helmethistory.com. The owner of the website does a really good job of keeping updated anytime someone puts out a new helmet, anytime keeping that stuff updated, keeping the history updated. But even then, like, some of the stuff goes so far back that it's tough to tell. Trying to find pictures from back then is very tough. And then also a lot of them are black and white. You know, we have a good sense of what color it might be because they're a little bit lighter on the helmet, so we're figuring it's probably a white, or, you know, even maybe like a light yellow, but probably not. So I've been going back and trying to piece together stuff, because we still have quite a bit of gaps that we're not sure what helmets were worn, what decals were worn. And so trying to kind of piece it all together is a lot of the fun too. And something that I really enjoy, because I'm digging through our SDSU archives and, you know, finding old football programs. I'm going to be partial to the black helmets, just because that was something that my staff and I got to play a big part in, that we worked so hard for, that we just worked our tails off to get done. And so that's always going to have a special place in my heart. But we have quite a few from the past that I think are really interesting. I love the old block SD on the side. There was one, I forget what years it was, maybe in the 80s. It was like almost like a black circle and then an SD with the jacks that kind of came down underneath. Right there was the jacks, and the SD kind of stuck up over this black circle. That's one that always sticks out to me that I really liked. And then the white helmets, obviously the white helmets, you know, that's one that's a fan favorite. Another one that just looks so good out there too. And it was so much fun to see, like whenever we were in Frisco and getting that huge game, that primetime game, seeing the responses on Twitter and people being like, oh, this is a top 10 helmet in college football. That just meant so much to me and my staff, and I know like the JFPA, like it meant so much to them, seeing people excited for it and really appreciating that. Getting to interact with these guys is always just so much fun and just makes me feel happy and like you know, like we're a part of something so much bigger than, you know, ourselves. And I just love that. It just makes me happy to be here, and it's just so much fun getting to do all this fun stuff.
Well, you can't use any power tools. Everything has to be done by hand on those helmets and the decals, and Aaron and his crew put in tons of work. And he's only been there a couple of years, still has a lot to learn, he says, but the equipment manager community is very tight-knit, and everybody is always willing to offer their advice and support.
This has been Midco Sports Magazine, presented by Build Your Base with Beef Sports Nutrition and Training Program.